Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk more about that Amazon Web Services outage earlier this week. It basically broke the internet.
Yeah, and it's not come back. It's like all been weird since.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that because there are several stories out there talking about the disruption, but we're comparing notes with other people, and something definitely happened above and beyond just Amazon going down. It feels like the internet kind of got an update or some kind of.
It feels like a smoke screen for something else.
Yeah,
not tinfoil hatting it here, and this is our opinion. I want to make that clear. It's our opinion, but it feels like it's almost a cover up for some other changes that were made that they didn't want people realizing were going on.
Yeah, it feels like the internet itself got a patch. I mean, I understand a lot of things are interconnected with Amazon Web Services, which is dangerous, right? I mean, it's dangerous to have everything interlinked into Amazon, but something just feels very, very off. Even parts of the internet that did not depend on AWS, people were saying they're having problems with.
Yeah, well, why would you if it's not connected? It's just, there's a lot of weirdness, and it's been, I understand there's some issues after they get it back up. It's going to take a while to get bugs out of them. I get that, but I'm just seeing a lot of things that changed after it went down. Like, for example, Google websites were coming back up. I can tell you for a fact the numbers and stuff are boosting again, and it was going back up. After this happened, all of a sudden, Google sites are not getting traffic or not getting found again.
Yeah, and this will dovetail with another video we're doing today talking about Robbie Starbuck. But something happened because we even had like our ad, and we run several websites, right? And people know that we don't talk about all the sites we run, but we had our ad network kind of panic and reach out to people the other day. Like, it was a day or two after this, and they were basically like, "Oh, guys, we're going to drop the traffic threshold. If you know anybody that wants to join this network," I'm like, that's weird. Like,
because they were so ridiculous about
they were so picky before.
We had to fight to get in to begin with way back, and that
And they're panicking, and then we talked about what's going on with the gamer, and I think something bigger than the AWS thing happened. Just again, this is
opinion,
pure speculation, but as people that have been online, they've made livings online for decades. It's not just, we didn't just start doing the YouTube thing. We've been doing this for decades. Something feels very, very off. So let's.
And I mean, I get that it could take a while to fix things up, but it seems like it goes beyond that.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Yeah. So we got a couple of stories pulled up here. We'll take a look at. BBC's got what caused the AWS outage and why has it made the internet fall apart. So they're noticing it too.
And this we found after we kept talking about it. Kneon and I have been talking about this all morning about how weird it is and how he's been talking to people. And then I saw this. So Wired's noticing it too. There's like a long tail of weirdness. Yeah,
and I think we're just seeing the beginnings of it. It feels to me like there's been some kind of a patch uploaded to the entire internet. And I mean, again, this is pure tinfoil hat speculation, but it feels like there might be some kind of ulterior motive, might be some kind of like political machinations.
I don't know if it's political machinations. It's probably financial.
Well, whatever it is.
Let's be honest, because Google's been doing all kinds of weird shit. I'm not saying it's just them, to make sure they hold on to more of the money, in my opinion. And it just seems like, to me, it seems like it could be yes. But I think financial too.
Speculation, speaking of Google, it does feel like, I mean, there are some Google services, I believe, tied to AWS, but obviously not everything. But I wonder if some companies aren't going to use this as an excuse, kind of like the tariffs are used as an excuse to raise the price on digital goods.
Oh, yeah, and things that were made in America and it wouldn't really impact that much, yes.
Right, so they're going to be like, oh, let's roll out a couple of updates that are going to negatively impact people, but let's do it during this AWS outage, and we can just be like, oh, guys, it must be the AWS outage, even though we don't use it.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. There's too many things, and I understand things are interconnected, but there are too many things that are happening or have changed significantly that weren't connected directly. And I understand that it's a trickle-down effect. I get that. I'm aware. I understand. But I'm just saying it seems to be going beyond that. If it doesn't correct itself in the next couple weeks, then I'm definitely going to be like,
Yeah, just in time for the holidays. Hey, did you know, this is just a side note, we're fulfilling the Halloween pin campaign right now, right? And I went to the post office to get an estimate on shipping for a certain size envelope, and the price that they quoted me for the shipping was ridiculous because I knew it wasn't what it cost online. I was just like, hey, can I ship it this way or whatever? And she said, oh yeah, we have flexible pricing now at the post office, premium pricing that we're rolling out for the holidays. I'm like, when the hell did this happen? Oh, like a week or so ago. And I'm like, but that's like twice what it costs online. I'm like, when
It wasn't
the hell?
twice, but it was a lot more.
It was a lot more. It was a significant amount more. And I'm like, this thing weighs like 4 ounces. Like what? But and they quoted
why
me
does
like
it cost
$8.
$7? Yeah, $7 to ship something that weighs 4 ounces.
I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
I hate to see what like priority and stuff is.
Oh my God. And I kind of wonder if this whole flexible pricing thing, because we're seeing those little stickers show up at Walmart now where it's like, depending on what time of day it is and how much money you have,
Well, they're
the thing
digital,
could cost
yeah.
this or this. Yeah.
It's digital on the thing, so the prices could change. I haven't seen that they changed, but they technically could change.
I want to be there when they
throughout the
change.
day.
I want to be there. Like if you walk by with like an Amex black card in your pocket, does the price go up? Like, oh, we can smell it. We can smell that you've got money.
I don't know. That would be an
gonna raise
awful
it
lot of
10 bucks.
sensors you'd have to put around the store. But
No,
yeah,
just wait. All right,
yeah.
so let's talk.
Disney would be the first to roll that one out.
Oh, they will be. Yeah, it's like, oh, it's really hot today. The drinks cost $2 more.
Mickey can smell money.
Mickey
anyway.
can smell the money. This comes from Wired. The long tail of the AWS outage. Experts say outages like the one that Amazon experienced this week are almost inevitable given the complexity and scale of cloud technology, but the duration serves as a warning. We have too many eggs in one basket, and if the handle breaks on that basket, everything's going to go to hell.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think there are eggs that weren't even in that basket that shouldn't be impacted by the basket suddenly
That
are
are-
impacted by the
Yes,
basket.
that's exactly
and
it.
it's like, why? Like you said, it reminds me of the tariffs where, we're going to announce tariffs, and people who were not impacted by the tariffs were raising their prices too. Or even when they weren't, rolled out yet, they were raising the prices when there weren't tariffs and blaming it on tariffs.
Yeah.
And it was like, wait a minute,
A side note, that one of the stories over here, Google has a bed bug infestation in its New York offices. That's what they're gonna blame all the bugs on. Oh, guys, that's why things aren't working right now. It's bed bugs. Bed bugs.
Well, I feel bad for those people because bed bugs are horrible. Anyway, let's get to the point. So it's like we're 7 minutes in.
Researchers reflecting on the incident particularly highlighted the length of the outage, which started around 3 on Monday. They said status updates that by 6:01 p.m. Eastern on Monday, all AWS services returned to normal operations. So we're talking like 15 hours. We're talking more than half a day. It wasn't just like an hour or two. They said multiple network engineers and infrastructure specialists emphasized to Wired that errors are understandable and inevitable for so-called hyperscalers like AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud, given their complexity and sheer size. But they noted, too, that this reality shouldn't simply absolve cloud providers when they have prolonged downtime. The word hindsight is key. It's easy to find out what went wrong after the fact, but the overall reliability of AWS shows us how difficult it is to prevent every failure.
Well, I was going to say, because they're talking like, well, oh, this is inevitable. I'm like, but it's not really happened like this that much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In one set paragraph, they're making it sound like, oh, this happens all the time. And, and the next one, they're like, but it's really reliable. Well, pick a side here.
So the first thing I said, I did a video about it the other day, was it felt to me like it might be an attack or something. They said, oh, no, we don't think it's an attack. But they said that Amazon did not respond to questions from Wired. They said that eventually they're going to have post-event summaries. Now, this is where it gets interesting. This is Jake Williams, Vice President of Research and Development at Hunter Strategy. He says, I don't think this was just a stuff happens outage. I would have expected a full remediation much faster. To give them their due, cascading failures aren't something that they get a lot of experience working on because they don't have outages very often. So that's to their credit. But it really is easy to get into the mindset of giving these companies a pass. And we shouldn't forget that they create this situation by actively trying to attract ever more customers to their infrastructure. Clients don't control whether they're overextending themselves or what they might have going on financially.
Okay, let's take a side tangent for a second. Related. I want to bring up providers like Comcast and Verizon and shit like that. Okay. They keep putting more and more people on the same, bandwidth nodes, whatever. They keep putting more people on. Like we have business, okay? We're spending hundreds of dollars a month for business that's supposed to be dedicated. Well, now it's not dedicated. Now you're paying all that much money and you're getting about the same as people who aren't because they're just sticking them on yours instead of upping the amount of nodes or whatever they have. They don't add more. They just add people onto it, and then they charge you more money.
Yeah, Comcast is awful. I mean, they're literally like one of the worst internet providers ever. And it used to be that they were pretty good, but that was back like we had business cable internet before a lot of other people had it, and it was fine. But now they're basically throwing all the residential customers on the business line too because they don't want to spend any more money. It's
Oh, and then they have the balls to say, if you give us more money, you can have it dedicated. It's like we were supposed to have it dedicated.
Yeah, we did at one point.
We were paying hundreds of dollars to have it dedicated, and now you're like, we have to pay you more.
Yeah, it's like no, get fucked. They basically they want to lock us into another contract, and
which we won't do because it's like kiss my ass. But I'm just saying, this is what we keep seeing. I'm sure it's not just here across the board, and I'm sure it's not just Comcast. These companies instead of keeping up with the infrastructure, instead of keeping up with the demand, they're trying to get out cheap and have record profits. They just piggyback everybody on top of each other, and then it's not going to hold up. And then when it goes down, it's going to be a lot harder to fix because you're going to take down a lot more things, and it's going to be a lot more convoluted.
Yeah, well, that's what they're saying. They're saying they're basically trying to maximize the amount of revenue.
Right. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, they said, thinking specifically about the outage, one senior network architect at a major tech company who requested anonymity also emphasized that the time it took for AWS to diagnose and remediate the issues was notable. It's extraordinary. They don't have more failures. Mm-hmm. But in this case, it was weird that what was basically a core service, DynamoDB and the DNS around that, took so long to detect and get to a root cause. Mm-hmm. So they're even like, they're not saying what they think is going on, but they're like, you've got guys that this is what they do. They eat, sleep, breathe this stuff, and they're telling Wired, this is weird. This should not have happened. It's fishy.
It's fishy. It's fishy. It took as long as it did too. And then that's teamed up with a lot of stuff still isn't working right, and a lot of stuff got really weird.
Yeah, so this is coming from the BBC. What caused the AWS outage and why has it made the internet fall apart? And this is today. This is not like, oh, the internet fell apart a couple of days ago. It's still not in a good shape right now, right? No. They said the place is hit by the outage very significantly. It took out major social media platforms like Snapchat and Reddit. Banks like Lloyd's and Halifax, and games like Roblox.
Took out Canvas for a lot of college students. I know our daughter's in cyber, and she couldn't get into her classes and stuff.
They're going through here, and they're like, hey, why have such an impact? Oh, everybody's over-reliant on AWS, and it's overloaded. And they said, yeah, small rivals, because they're the biggest player, right? They said there are only two main contenders, Microsoft and Google are the only two options that could compete with AWS. And again, we're looking at the entire internet being propped up by like a three-legged table.
Yes.
I mean, and that's why I talked about the other day. Like, that should scare the shit out of you. That all of these services, it used to be back in the day, if you had an online company, you had your own server room. You had your servers there. The one company I worked for, we were government adjacent. We had servers there because they couldn't have that stuff floating around. Now, I don't know if it's the case now, but they couldn't have that information floating around at Amazon or Google or whatever. And now it's like all these companies rely on these, three or four major corporations for everything. And part of it, I mean, maybe since Google's one of the competitors, are they kind of like, hey, yeah, the internet's kind of broken, guys. Why don't you come over here? We can control everything. We can control.
I don't know. I just know that there was a lot of weirdness happened, and some things related to Google after this thing went down and came back up. And I'm not saying that it was impacted by it, but it's just weird. It's like, people have been using the smoke screen? Could somebody have caused this to happen so that they could use the confusion to cover up doing something else? And I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying it seems weird and it seems like a possibility.
To hack the planet? They're gonna hack the planet? Oh my God. Yeah, something's just watch this.
You, Jason. Anyway,
watch this space because I think in the coming weeks and months, we're going to see a longer tail and we're going to start to realize like what the bigger picture is here. Something unusual happened. This shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. Like they were saying, that long, with this thing being one of the major pillars of the internet, should not have gone down that long. Something's up. Just a theory.
It's very suspicious. It's very weird. Like I said, it's gonna depend on if this stuff stays messed up like this and stays weird. Then I'm gonna be like, If it does go back to normal and it fixes itself and you know, we're not seeing the weirdness anymore in like a couple weeks, then I have to say, okay, maybe it was because of the situation. But right now, there's a lot of stuff that I'm seeing that shouldn't even be connected to that, and I'm like, that's weird.
It is very weird. So we're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.
For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.